Okay, so welcome everybody. Happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day. Whether you are a mother or not, makes no difference, right? Is that we are celebrating the energy of what really keeps the world going. That's what I really associate with mother energy, the energy that keeps us going when we think that we cannot take another step ourselves. And so that might be in the form of your biological mother. It might be in the form of many other people, male or female, who have taken on that role in your life. I was thinking about it, and I think that I have no fewer than 7 mothers or people who I associate who have really taken on that role in my life. And so I encourage you to expand your attention or expand your heart to the point where you are not just thinking about people who have physically born children or physically raised children, but that you're really looking at the individuals who have been that supporting energy for you, that when you think you can't do it anymore by yourself, you have no idea where to go, there's that face or that voice or that heart that lifts you up, right? Gives you the strength to go one step further. So that's really what we're celebrating, because that's not just the divine feminine, that's really how that mother energy exists in the world. So invite that in, because my thought for you is that this is what is for me going to be the celebration of that mother energy, is that moms never take a day off, right? That's our joke, is that moms never take a day off. Once you have children, is you can never not have them, right? Even if something happens where your relationship is estranged, or someone passes away, is that you can never undo that experience of finding yourself so interconnected with another being, right? You can't undo it. And our yoga tradition or our yoga practice says that this is the same when we go into the deep places in our heart that we do with humanity, right? Once you go to those deep places where you feel interconnected with other beings, is you can't undo it, right? You can't unsee or unfeel that depth of connection. So what we're asking for when we practice is for every one of us to do that, is to find the thing in the world that brings you so deep into your heart. The way I say it, that brings tears to your eyes. So where is it in the world that there is beings that bring tears to your eyes consistently? And then to stay in that heart place where you're willing to always be on the edge of tears because you care so much. And because you care so much, you'll never take a day off, right? You'll always have energy that's being held for them, that's uplifting them, that's seeing where their suffering is and putting your best efforts towards making it easier, right? Helping them take one more step. So this is what we're practicing. And this is to me, the mother energy. So let's celebrate that in each other and in ourselves, not just the people who are bearing children, but that we see each other, right, as that shared interconnected, that we're all children, right? We're all mothers, we're all children, and we're here to uplift each other. And if we can do that, we stay in that heart place where your suffering brings me to tears, right? My own suffering brings me to tears. And everything in me says, I don't want to turn away from that. I want to be there to uplift you in whatever way I can. Then we all get there, right? We all lift up. Right? So this is the idea of the bodhisattva, but it's also the idea of the mother, right? I will be there every time you fall down to help you get up again. And no matter what occurs, right, my heart will never stop being a place for you to come for refuge. So close your eyes if you haven't already. So it's very simple, or it's very simplistic to say, oh, I'm celebrating my mother, the person who birthed me into the world, or who, kept a roof over my head, et cetera, et cetera. Very simplistic to do that, and wonderful. Absolutely honor your mothers today. But also honor this big energy that says that we are all interconnected, and that if we can see each other that way, and we never take a day off from caring. We never take a day off where we turn our heart off and say, I just can't handle it today. I can't care today. When we do that, right, it says that we fall into that place of enlightenment. We fall into that place of compassion, because we are now no longer trying to keep anything away. We become that huge heart as wide as the world. So breathe into that for a moment, into your belly, into your chest. Letting your mind drop that sensation of somehow I can't hold that much feeling. Your mind can't do it, but your heart can. And even if you think your physical heart can't, your emotional heart can't, your soul can. So you keep dropping into the biggest space possible that says, I can hold this, because it's not mine. The greatest practice of non-attachment is that what I experience is something that happens, but it's not mine. And so the same love that you give to the world that flows through you from that big open heart is it's not yours. You just let it flow. And where it goes, where it needs to go, it will go. Your only practice is being in that space of knowing that you care so much that you will keep letting that energy erupt from you, flow from you. I say it all the time that we are love. So when you meditate today, or you meditate this week or this month or this year or this lifetime, make that real. Not just I want to feel love, but make it real that you are love. That it emanates from you, it overflows from you because it's so big that you can't contain it. That's the big mama energy. One more deep breath. Again, the practice is always to just drop ourselves in. Don't try so hard, just drop. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. We'll open with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. And let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release your hands, please. And then staying seated, stretch your arms up alongside your ears. Interlace your fingers, press the heels of the hands up to the sky. So pull, pull, pull through the arms. Good, drawing the low rib cage in, dropping your seat. Press the top of your head up as your armpits move down. Good. And then lean to your right, still pressing out through the heels of the hands. Lean, 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 even more lean. Yep, lean, lean, lean. Good. And then let that right hand touch down to the floor, please. Left arm continues to stretch over your ear. Walk your right fingertips further out away from your hip. And then bend that elbow, letting the forearm drop to the floor if it can. If it can't, that's okay, but bend the elbow anyway. Soften that shoulder away from the ear and really breathe through that left side rib cage. Good. Really nice. Stretch out through your left fingertips a little bit more so the elbow becomes less bent. Awesome. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling. Draw your throat back. Good. Then take your gaze down towards the floor, keeping the throat back in line with the upper arm. Good. And then come all the way back up to center. Inhale both arms up to the sky. Interlace the fingers again. Press the heels of the hands up. Pull up as tall as you can. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Pull your low rib cage in. Pull your belly in. Press your butt down. Good. Top of your head moves towards your hands as your armpits pull down towards the floor. Good. Lean to your left. Good. Keep the hands clasped. Yeah, you're still pressing out through the heels of the hands. Pull, pull, pull to the left. Good. Keep pulling. Yeah, I want you to have to concentrate on pressing that right sit bone down as you lean to the left. Nice, Sandy. Good, Linda. Good. Let the left hand touch down to the floor. Right arm continues to reach over the ear. Walk the left hand out beyond your hip even further. And then start to bend the elbow, dropping the forearm down to the floor if it can go there. If not, just bend the elbow as deep as it will allow. Soften the shoulder away from the ear, draw your throat back, keep that right butt cheek rooting down to the floor. Good, and then extend out through those right fingertips just a little more, take that bend out of your elbow. Nice, Debbie, nice Melody. Good, Lydia. Awesome, you guys. Take your gaze up towards the sky, turning the head. Good. Throat back, and then turn your gaze down towards the floor. Nice. And then all the way back up to center, please. Nice job. Release the hands, roll forward onto hands and knees. Good. That internal squeezing is really helpful when you have that sort of agitated feeling of I've just got energy that needs to move, because we don't always need to like run in place to get that to shift. Sometimes we just need to squeeze. Squeeze and release. Good. On hands and knees, please. Circle your hips just a little bit, moving the pelvis. I've been really working a lot with myself on this energy of the things that move through you not belonging to you, right? Which is kind of very apropos for moms, because you learn very early that once you have children, nothing belongs to you anymore. was my joke this morning that even my Mother's Day breakfast, my daughter brought it to me, breakfast in bed. It was lovely. And she ate half of it. She immediately was like, I want that. And what am I going to say? No. So she ate half of my breakfast. Move your hips the other way, please. But I gladly let her, right? I gladly gave it to her. So when we cultivate this attitude, right, that there's so much that comes through us that isn't ours. And if it isn't ours, it doesn't feel so exhausting to keep giving, right? Because that's the challenge with moms, we say all the time, right? Is they give so much that they're exhausted, that they're depleted, that they've got nothing left. They forget about themselves. And we don't want to do that, but we do want to have this feeling of being selfless in the way where we don't impose how things move through us and where it lands. Come back to child's pose, please. Knees nice and wide, big toes together to touch. Hips back to your heels. Yesterday, I was talking about one of the forms of the goddess Chinnamasta, who literally her image is that she's cut off her own head in order to feed her attendants who are crying to her that they're hungry. They're not hungry for food. They're hungry for that inner sustenance, right? The soul. Good. Come up on your fingertips, please. Lift your hips up off of your heels just a little bit. So move forward almost towards that hands and knees. So your butt lifts. Good. And then scoop your belly a lot. Round your back. Round, 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 like you're in cat. Good. Your butt's going to be off your heels for a moment. Round your back. Round, round, round. Even more. Lift your top of your pelvic bones off of your thighs. Round. Good. And then start to, again, move your hips back towards your heels, but stay that rounded. Don't let the rounding go. Keep rounded, keep rounded. If you need to move your hands back, but stay rounded in your low back. Good. And then the hips start to come towards your heels. Stay rounded. Nice. Relax through the upper chest. Drop your heart towards the floor, but stay rounded in your upper back. Sorry, in your lower back. Upper back softens. Good. Nice, you guys. And then all the way back up to hands and knees, please. And come back to downward facing dog. Good. Pedal your feet just a little bit if you'd like. So you move the hips from side to side. Good. And then steady the heels, both heels reaching towards the floor as your hips pull up, up, up. So feel that extension through the legs, that your hips are rising up towards the ceiling. Your heels are softening towards the floor. Good. And like you're squeezing a block between your shins. Yeah. Nice. Now don't lose that. Take your right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. So it's still like you're squeezing a block between your shins. Good. Kick as many walls as you want. Nice, you guys. Again, like you're hugging your shins. So there's this energy of the legs pulling inward towards the midline. Beautiful. Press back through that heel just a little bit more, like you're taking the weight out of your hands. Nice, Kristen. And then step that foot forward between the hands. Lunge. Good. Inhale the arms up to the sky. High lunge. Beautiful. Take your arms out wide, cactus arms. Yeah, inner elbow spin forward, chest to the sky. So lift your sternum, get super tall through your upper chest. And then send that front knee forward over the ankle, lean back, take any amount of a back bend, and then kick your back thigh just a little bit higher. Yes. Nice, you guys. Beautiful. And then come all the way back up. Take the hands back behind you, interlace the fingers at the low spine, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Good. Hugging the upper arms, start to pull those hands down any amount to straighten the arms, but keep your armpits up. Lift the back of your throat. Good. Lean forward, torso parallels the floor. Good. And as you lean forward, lift your low belly again, kick your back thigh higher. Nice. And then send your front knee forward more. Good. And now bring your head a little deeper in towards the floor, but don't start curling into your back. Good. I know. Yeah. Keep extending and then keep going, keep going, keep going. Kick your back thigh higher. Bring your head to the floor. Ah, I know. Back thigh kicks higher. Yes. Beautiful. Release your hands to the floor before you face plant. Awesome. Left hand plants, right arm to the sky, spinal twist. Nice, you guys. Back thigh lifts. Good. Lydia, bring that hand closer towards the top of your head so you open the shoulder more. Yes. Good. Release that hand down to the floor. Please walk your fingertips straight ahead. Step up, standing split. I know energy needs to move, so we're just going for it. Good. Flex that left foot. Nice. Beautiful, you guys. Lift your chest up on your fingertips or blocks. Yes. Beautiful. And then left hand stays where it is. Take your right arm up to the sky. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana. I know before 10 in the morning, this is what you need. Open. Beautiful. Twisting Ardha Chandrasana. Good. Release that right hand down to the floor, please. Step your left leg back all the way to a nice long lunge, then drop that knee. Good. Take both hands inside the front foot. Circle that hip. So move the hip. Big circles, little circles, doesn't matter. Your favorite kind of circles. Good. On Chinnamasa's story, or in her image, is you see her with her two attendants on either side of her, and she has her own severed head in her hand. And from her neck, there's these spouts of blood, 3 spouts of blood that are coming, and each one is feeding one of her attendants, and the third one is feeding herself, right? I know it's an image that you don't necessarily want in your head, but the metaphor of it is that it's not blood in the gory sense, but it's the essence of the goddess, right? The essence of what nourishes the universe. And it's not what nourishes your body, it's what nourishes your soul. Come back to stillness, please. Dropping down to your elbows or forearms inside that front foot. Use blocks if you need. Good. Breathe deeply, relaxing through that space at the back of the heart. Good. Nice, you guys. And the idea is that with that act of taking off her head, the removal of the head in yogic symbology is almost always that you are removing the ego. So the limited experience or the limited expression of things, you're removing that. That by removing it, she becomes this fountain of source energy, this fountain of divine energy that can feed everyone and everything. And she's never anything less. She's never depleted. She's never exhausted. She says, I can't give you what you need from me, but I can be the way that what you need comes to you, right? And so this is what we practice, that, you know, perfection in motherhood, or what we hope to be our perfection in humanity, is to be able to do that, to be selfless in a way where we don't impose that this is how I want to love you, or this is how I want you to receive my love, but that I can just keep giving. And if it's not mine, then it can go where it needs to go, and you can receive what you need to receive, and it has nothing to do with me. My job is just to love you. And so that's what we practice. Can you become love that is unconditional? One more breath. Good. Then walk yourself all the way back in, please. Nice. Lift that back knee up. Step back, downward facing dog. Good. And slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Nice. Lift the back of your throat, so don't let it drop. That's it. Nice, you guys. Chest up, looking forward, imagining. Those of you in Zoom might not be looking at a person, you might be looking at a dog. But if you're in the room here, you can look towards a person. Make eye contact, don't make it weird. Good. And then lower down slow to your belly. Rise up, cobra, lift head, neck, and chest. Exhale, tongue out, lion's breath. Good, and release, please. Back to child's pose with a rounded back. So as you press up to hands and knees, scoop your belly, round a lot, and then start to take your hips back to your heels. Knees can be wide, but round, round, round as you come back. So you keep your low belly lifting up off of your thighs. Good, and then as your hips find your heels, or they come as close to your heels as they're going to, then you relax behind the heart. Good, but don't drop that space of your low belly, because then we lose all of the actual release of the lower back. Good, and isn't that the case, right? We are told to relax, and we relax by just letting everything go, and then we don't benefit from that. Right? Don't take a day off that way where you tune the world out. You can tune into your inner world, that's different. Come back up to hands and knees, please. Downward facing dog. Good. Nice, you guys. Again, like you have that feeling of hugging a block between your shins. You get the legs a little bit more powerful. And then take the left leg up and back behind you, down dog split. And keep that sensation like you're still trying to squeeze the legs towards each other. Nice. And then pull back through that heel. So you're taking the weight out of the hands, getting longer through the back of your spine, through your pelvis. Good. And then step that foot forward between the hands. Lunge. Inhale, both arms to the sky. High lunge. Good. And then take the arms out wide, cactus arms. This is my mirroring, right? The goddess pose arms here. Inner elbows forward, palms fall back. So it's a straight line across the front of your chest. Good. And then chest lifts higher and higher and higher. Start to drop your heart up to the sky. Head falls back. Take your back bend. Good. You got to keep spinning your elbows forward as you do that. Lydia, elbows up a little higher. Nice, Meredith. Good, Susan. Awesome, Melody. Nice, Joy. Good. And then come all the way back up, please. Stretch the arms back behind you. Interlace the fingers at the low spine. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears so you get as tall through your side ribs as you can. Good. And then hug those upper arms. Start to draw the hands down as you lift up through the crown of your head. Good. And then bow forward halfway, parallel to the floor. So as you come parallel to the floor, you've got to take more weight into that back foot. Kick your back thigh higher. Pull your rib cage in. Back of your throat lifts. Good. And then stay this long and start to drop those shoulders a little lower, like you're reaching the crown of your head towards the tips of your front toes. Yep. Keep going. So you're going lower, like you're going to take your head to the floor, but I don't want you to stop extending. I don't want you to think that rounding and getting shorter is what's going to get you there. Good, Lauren. Both Laurens. And then go ahead, release the hands to the floor. Awesome, you guys. Right hand plants, left arm to the sky, spinal twist, open. Kick your back thigh a little higher. Good. And then bring your front knee forward over the ankle a little bit more. Yeah. Good. Jen, bring your hand closer up towards the top of your head. That's it. Awesome, you guys. Release that hand down to the floor, please. Walk your fingertips straight ahead. Step up, standing split. Use blocks underneath the hands if you need. Good. Nice, Tatiana. Move your left hip back in space, Tatiana, just a little bit so it's over your ankle. Perfect. Good, you guys. So really strong legs. Again, like you're squeezing something between them. Good. And then blocks underneath the hands if you need. Right hand stays where it is. Left arm comes to the sky. A revolved Ardha Chandrasana. So you're turning your belly towards the left. Good. Nice, Sandy. So revolved, Lydia. So take your chest facing the floor and lift the other hand. Other hand, Lydia. You got to keep your toes facing the floor. There you go. Awesome, you guys. Release that hand down, please. Step back, nice long lunge. Good. Drop the back knee. Take both hands inside the front foot. Circle the hip. You know, it's always the worst case scenario when you're in a really difficult pose and someone needs extra talking. It means you're there for longer. It's lucky you. Lucky you that you get that moment to realize how to sustain yourself for the sake of another being. Right? We don't often think of it that way. We think, oh, I'm ready to get out of the pose. We don't think maybe by me staying in the pose, I'm supporting someone else who's finding their way. Or that just even in that moment of me giving up what I feel or what I want gives me the moment to drop back into that interconnectedness. Take off your head. Come back to stillness, please. Knee over the ankle. Drop down onto your elbows inside that front foot. Use blocks underneath the elbows if you need, or stay on your fingertips, totally valid. But drop your shoulders a little lower. Good. And breathe into the wideness of your hip. Into the lower back. Nice, Debbie. Good. So many things that I realized after having a child of my own that I had taken for granted about mothers and just about people in general, right? So that idea that the experiences that you have, whatever they may be, is you can't undo the changes that they cause to you, the awareness that they bring to you. And so to be that nurturing energy or the mother energy or the supporting energy doesn't mean that you have to have children. There are lots of ways that the world can open you up to that experience where you see people as people, not as the roles that they play or the things that they say, but you see them as people who are trying their best to be people. Good. And remind myself over and over again to treat everyone the way that I would treat my daughter. It's not easy, but I remind myself over and over again. I don't give my food away to everyone either. Walk yourself back in, please. Lift your back knee, step back to downward facing dog. But I certainly have an attitude of giving much more than I did before having children, right? That I want everybody to have what they need. And maybe I did want that before, but now it has a completely different meaning to it. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. It's kind of hard to remember what I thought and felt before, right? Lift your chest, please. Lift your gaze. Again, if you have someone to look at them, not past them. Good. And then lower down to your belly, slow. Good. Rise up, cobra, lift head, neck, and chest. Lion's breath, tongue out. And release back to your belly, please. Nice, you guys. Bend both knees, kick your heels in towards your butt. Good. Keep your hands alongside your ribs in that cobra position. So your knees are bent, but you're not reaching for your feet. Press down into your hands. Good. Press down into the tops of your knees, so the lower part of your thighs, and feel your butt pop up towards the ceiling. Good. And then scoop the low part of your belly, so you're trying to just lift your hip points forward towards your low ribs. And then you're trying to soften your low ribs away from the floor, so everything is kind of hollowing away from your mat. And then drag back on your hands to take your chest forward. Lift up head, neck, and chest. Keep kicking your heels towards your butt, but keep pressing down into your thighs so that the whole stretch here really has to go into the front of your pelvis instead of your lower back. Nice. Yeah, you can go as high as you want, Dana. You're good. Good. Awesome, you guys. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Don't make this difficult. Good. And then release, please. Nice job. With the legs straight out in front of you, stretch your arms forward alongside your ears. Pressing through the front of the pelvis. Again, that little lift of your hip points and that hollowing of your low rib cage in away from the floor. Lifting up for locust, take your inner thighs up towards the ceiling, lift the legs. And then from the back of your heart, lift up, take your arms up alongside your ears. Good. And again, it's the back of your heart, your low ribs draw in. So don't push your ribs down into the floor, pull up. Yes. Really nice, Lena. Good. Nice, Taylor. Nice, Sarah. Nice, Mark. Nice, Michelle. And then release back to your belly, please. Take a moment, forehead to the floor or turn one cheek. You can make a little pillow with your hands if you'd like. But all that excess energy is starting to go, huh? I'm telling you, the squeezing and releasing is sometimes more powerful than the frantic activity, right? Or we get it into our minds that what I really need is to go run. What I really need is to escape this feeling. And sometimes that works. And sometimes it gives us a very temporary relief, and then 10 minutes later, the feeling is back. We squeeze. We squeeze and we connect to the moment that we are struggling with. And we remember that it's not mine. It might be something that I feel or something that's happening in my body or my mind, but it isn't mine. It doesn't belong to me. And if it doesn't belong to me, then I can easily let it change. I can let it go when it's done. And I can hear it and feel it for what it is while it's here. So you become infinite when you drop your head. You let go of that feeling of self determining what things are and what they mean and what belongs to you. Good. Take one more deep breath into the back of the heart, into the belly, pressing into the floor. And then walk your hands back in, please. Good. Tuck your toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Right foot steps forward between the hands, lunge. Good. Drop the back heel, baby toe parallels back of your mat. Warrior two, take the shoulders up over the hips, arms wide. Virabhadrasana 2. Good. Gazing over the front fingertips, move your left rib cage wider towards the back of your mat. So twist yourself open to the left just a little bit, and then widen that front knee again. Yeah, so Sandy, front knee a little wider towards the baby toe, even more. Even more. There you go. Good. Left hand drops down the back thigh, right palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Good. Keep that right arm where it is, please. Lift your left arm up off of your back thigh and just extend it straight back behind you. So again, you're pulling through your left rib cage towards the wall behind you, and then you lift through that right rib cage even longer. Nice. Front knee over the front ankle. Beautiful, everybody in the room. Good. Come back up to warrior two, please. Right forearm drops onto front thigh. Left arm comes over the ear, side angle. So stretching the left side outer ribs just as long as you just did on the right. Good. Feel as though your back thigh is kicking higher. Look, take your gaze down towards the floor and soften that right shoulder away from your ear. Yes. And now take your left fingertips a little longer, straight elbow. Good. Look up towards the ceiling if you'd like, or keep your gaze where it is. Awesome. And then come all the way back up, warrior two. Straighten the front thigh, please. Turn your right toes same direction as your left, so you come to wide legs. And then take your right arm up to the sky. Bend the elbow, place the hand behind your heart, so your elbow points up towards the ceiling. Left hand turns to face backwards. Point your fingertips down to the floor. Bend the elbow, reach up to either find that trailing the other hand. You could use a strap here if you want, or just let the hands rest where they rest. Don't worry if they don't touch. Good. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, bow forward, keep your hands, keep your arms in this position. Good. So you don't let that elbow fall forward. Keep it lifted. Long spine. Remember that feeling. I said, don't immediately fall into that roundness of your back. Good. Even if it means that you're further away from the floor, extend. Nice. Awesome, you guys. Nice, Joy. Nice, Kristen. Good. Release the hands down to the floor. Something's happening that's funny in the back of the room here. I don't know what it is. Good. Walk back towards the top of your mat, please. Right toes turn forward. Spin your left heel up. Walk your fingertips straight ahead. Step up, standing split. Good. Use blocks if you need. Nice. Left hand stays where it is. Right arm to the sky. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Turn that left hip down towards the floor and lift your right low belly even wider to the right. Good. Optional, bend that left knee, kick your heel in, reach back for the foot or the ankle. Good. Nice, Susan. Good, Diane. Nice, Linda. You got it, Lydia. Nice, Sue. Good. Extend all the way back out. Please release that right hand to the floor. Nice, Lisa. And then step back to lunge and step back downward facing dog. Oh, a lot of squeezing going on. Squeezing is good. Vinyasa if you'd like. Child's pose if you prefer. If you're doing the vinyasa, you're sliding forward to plank. Lowering down to your belly, rising up cobra. Keeping your mind connected to something in the world. Don't let it tune out to some fantasy land. Downward facing dog as you are ready if you're in child's pose. Good. Left foot steps forward between the hands, please. Lunge. That was a nice Vasisthasana, Kristen. Drop the back heel, baby toe parallels back of your mat, warrior two. Shoulders over the hips. Good. Watch that front knee is pressing wide towards the second toe. Right rib cage spins back to the right though. So move your ribs wider to the right, but keep that front knee moving wider to the left. So Marlene, really watch your front knee that it's not falling in. There you go. And then right hand down the back thigh, left palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Nice. Keep that left arm lifted. Straight. Take your right hand off of your back thigh and just reach it straight back behind you. So if you're in the room here and you're imagining that you're reaching for the wall behind you, go for that. Good. So you got to lift your left hip point, tilt it up towards the top of your mat. That's it. Nice, Jen. Nice, Michelle. Nice, Sarah. Good, you guys. Bring it all the way back up to warrior two. Nice job. Left forearm comes onto front thigh. Right arm comes over the ear, side angle. Create that same openness on the other side. So the front ribs soften back and you're turning that left rib cage under, right rib cage stacks higher. Watch your front knee again. Good. And then you're reaching through those fingertips. Nice, Mark. Awesome. Take your gaze down towards the floor. As you look down, drop that left shoulder away from your ear. Nice, Meredith. And then take your gaze up towards the sky or keep it where it is. Good. And then all the way back up, warrior two. Nice, Melody. Nice, Lauren. And then straighten that left leg, please. Turn the left toes, same direction as your right, back to wide legs. Take your left arm up to the sky. Bend the elbow, place the hand behind your heart. You could use a block between the hands here too if you want something solid between your hands. You could hold the block in your left hand, and then as you reach up, you'll grab that bottom edge of the block. Right hand turns backwards, point the fingers at the floor, bend the elbow, reach up. Again, you're either finding fingertips, using a prop, or you're just pressing the hands where they press. And just do that. Good. And then start to bow forward, keeping this length on your spine, arms in this position. So you try to keep that connection of the hands and the forearm, especially the lower one, to your back. You got it. Good. And I know maybe the hands can't be touching, but and maybe you don't have props around, but I often think that the ancient yogis probably didn't have straps either. Right? So you work with what you have, how you have it. Good. Try and lift that left elbow a little higher so that you keep that shoulder blade on your back. Nice, Diane. Nice, Debbie. Good. And then release the hands down to the floor. Nicely done, you guys. Take a walk forward so you're in a wide-legged downward facing dog. So just keep the legs wide. Walk your hands straight ahead. Good. Walk forward enough so that you feel your weight fall towards the balls of your feet, so that you actually have to pull back through the tops of your thighs to feel your spine stretching. So it's not pushing back through the knees, but it's pulling your hips up and back at a diagonal. Good. And then let your heart drop towards the floor any amount. Really nice. Good, Taylor. Nice. Dana, take your hands a little wider. There you go. Nice, Lisa. Awesome, you guys. Walk your hands all the way back in, please. Good. Turn your left toes forward. Walk back towards the top of your mat. Good. Downward facing dog. Again, vinyasa if you'd like, child's pose if you prefer. If you're doing the vinyasa, sliding forward to plank, lowering down to your belly, rising up cobra. Downward facing dog. When you are ready. Good. And then if you've been in child's pose, take one more breath. Find your way back to down dog. Good. Right leg comes up and back behind you, down dog split. Good. Bring the knee forward towards your nose and then out towards the right edge of your mat for pigeon pose. Good. So crossing the shin, turning the left hip forward. Good. Nice, you guys. Scoop your belly just a little bit so that same energy that you had coming into child's pose where you were rounding through your lower back, try and do that. Good. Active front foot. And then go ahead and walk your hands forward. So Jen, take your knee wider to the right. That's it, exactly. You too, Lisa, wider to the right. Good. Find your way down to your resting pigeon, whatever that looks like. If you're on your back, fantastic. Dropping for a moment, maybe your mind's ideas of what it means to be a mother or what it means to love something or someone. I was rescuing a spider from the bathtub this morning and, I'm half naked as I'm taking it outside. My husband's like, "What are you doing?" Like, "I'm rescuing a spider." He's like, "Really?" Like this? I said, "Yeah, because compassion doesn't rest just because you're not wearing clothes." Right? So I'm not saying that you have to do, ridiculous things of that nature, but to not take a break just because it's inconvenient for you. Or to not say, "Oh, I guess it's all right for that spider to die just because, I don't have to care this time." Sometimes we really can't do anything, right? And there's nothing that we can functionally do to change the circumstances, but when we can do something, do you ignore that? And when you're not able to do something, do you let your mind and your heart tune out and say, "Well, nothing I can do, so I'm going to not feel"? Or do you leave yourself open to wish and pray and direct as much supporting energy to those beings to find their way, even though it has nothing to do with you? Selfless. It is not myself, but I still care. Right? We joke and we say that we're the conduits of that divine energy, that we're God's eyes and ears and hands and mouths. But then we get it into our heads that should only come into the world in specific ways, the ways that make sense to us. Drop your head, and it will find its way into the world however it needs to through you. Good. Begin to walk your hands back up. Good. If you're on your back, start to find your way back to downward facing dog. So if you're in pigeon pose, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then take your right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. So if you're coming back to down dog, you're lifting your right leg up to down dog split. Good. And then bring that knee forward towards your nose again, hover there, and then shoot that leg out to the left. Yep, behind your wrist. So you come onto the baby toe edge of that right leg or that right foot, split the legs. Drop onto your left heel. So your left foot comes flat. Take your left arm to the sky, open the hips. Good, open the heart. Yeah, you got to fall backwards with the weight of that shoulder towards that right hand. Nice, Lauren. Awesome, you guys. Nice, Sandy. And then slowly unwind. Nice, Susan. All the way back. Down dog split. Good. And then release that foot down to the floor. Bend your knees, do a little cat and cow and down dog. If you need to drop to your knees and do cat cow on hands and knees, do that. Good. And then find yourself back in a stillness, back to downward facing dog. Heels steady, hips lifting. Good. Left leg comes up and back behind you. Down dog split. Bring that knee forward towards your nose. And again, pause for a moment. And then take that knee wide towards your wrist and place the shin consciously for pigeon. Don't just throw it up there. Good. And then active leg, right? Active foot, either pointed or flexed, pushing into the shin. Turn your right hip to spin forward. So that's the back hip spins forward. And then find your way onto your elbows, blocks, whatever you use as your resting pigeon forward fold. And if you're on your back, fantastic, flex the feet. Good, maybe give a little bit more weight to the right side sacrum here. Good. It is not an easy thing to love in a selfless way. It's not an easy thing to live in a selfless way, to feel in a selfless way. But our exhaustion does not come from the fact that we are continuously feeling. Our exhaustion comes from the fact that we are continuously feeling in a very personal, attached way. Right? When something is ours and we have to carry it and we have no solution to it, no resolution to it, saps our energy. When it doesn't belong to us and we're allowing things to flow through, or we are flowing through life as it happens, then everything can occur, does occur. And it takes nothing from us, it just opens us up wider. So absolutely, we have to learn how to properly be selfless, not where we forget about ourselves as though we don't matter. And it's not just women that do that, it's everyone. But to be able to be in that state where you love so deeply, care so deeply, consistently, but it doesn't exhaust you because the suffering of the world doesn't belong to you. And the love that comes through you to meet that suffering doesn't belong to you either. And because it doesn't belong to you, it can be so big, so much bigger than what you think you can do on your own. And then that's the teaching of yoga, is that you have never been, no matter what, from the moment of your embodiment, you have never been doing anything alone. That's the ignorance, right? That's the confusion in our minds, as we think we're doing this alone. Or that we've only got that one mother or that one father that is ours. And either they're good at their job or they aren't. And we're stuck with that. And it's just not true. Right? You will always be directed to the energy that you need, the mothers that you need, the fathers that you need. But the experiences of this world do not belong to you. To embrace the headless self that says, I'm able to live here. And I'm not exhausted by my living. And then don't forget to go to sleep on time. You do have to take care of your body. Nice, you guys. Take one more breath. And then if you are on your back, start to find your way back up into downward facing dog. If you are in pigeon, walk your hands back in underneath your shoulders, tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, take your left leg up and back. So everyone finds their way into down dog split with the left leg up. Good. And then bring that knee forward towards your nose, shoulders over your wrist. And then bring that left leg out to the right. Split the leg. So pull that foot up towards the top of your mat as high as it will go, as wide as the legs will go. And then drop onto your right heel, right arm to the sky. And you press into that left hand so that you're pulling up through your shoulder. By pushing down into the floor, you get lighter. Nice, Linda. Good, Susan. Nice, Lauren, both Laurens. Nice, Mark. Good, Kristen, good, Joy. And then slowly unwind everybody. To you. Welcome back, Kristen. You're good. Walk yourself back up, please. Come to sit on your butt. It's that time to sit on your butt. Take your legs out in front of you. Yay, no more standing on your legs. Good, legs out in front of you, please. Good, keep the left leg extended. Bend your right knee in towards your chest. Bring the bottom of the foot to the inside of the left thigh. Let your knee drop wide. Janu Shavasana. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Little twist to your left towards that extended leg and then bow forward. Good. And holding whatever you are holding, whether it's your ankle or your foot or some part of the floor your hands are connecting to, connect to something, and then round into your back again. So you're still in the forward fold, but I want you to pull back through your low belly, pull back through your middle ribs. Good, and as you round, you can drop deeper into your seat. You can get a little bit more fully into that stretch of the lowest place of your pelvis, lowest place of your back. Good, and then maintain that roundness and start to extend your armpits forward again. Soften the space at the back of the heart without dropping your ribs, but pull the armpits forward. Nice. Awesome, you guys. And then walk yourself all the way back up, please. Beautiful. Take that right knee facing up towards the ceiling. Good. Reach with your left hand for the baby toe of your right foot. So you're reaching across the body. Yep, lift that right foot up off the floor and then extend that heel straight forward in line with your hip. Turn your belly to the right. So you're twisting towards that leg. Right arm comes back behind you. So a little balancing twist. Good. Lean forward towards the front edge of your pelvis. I know those of you who have the wall are trying desperately to use it for support. And you can, but don't lean onto it. Use it to push yourself forward. Good. Kick that right thigh higher, please. Even if you bend the knee, kick it higher. Yes, and then lift your chest higher. That's it, Lisa. Good. This is what matters, right? Not that you have a straight leg, but that your spine gets straighter. Awesome. Good. Lauren C., move your thigh a little wider to your left. That's it. And then turn your belly more. Good. And then slowly release. Nice, Tatiana. Pull that knee in towards your chest, please. Step your right foot over your left thigh. Wrap the left arm around that knee. Right hand comes back behind you. Spinal twist. Good. Softening the front ribs into the back body so that your twisting is not yanking on your spine, but it's a reason to squeeze the front of your body to the back of your body. And then release, come back to center, please. Unwind that leg. Right leg comes straight out in front of you. Bend the left knee, bring the foot to the inside of the right thigh. Let your knee go wide. Good. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Little twist to your right. Bow over the right thigh. Janu Shavasana. You got it. Turning the belly towards that thigh so the left rib cage is spinning forward. So again, we get a little bit more space in where the outer right rib cage meets your pelvis into the trunk. Good. Then hands holding something, either your foot or your ankle or the floor, whatever you can connect to. Press into that, round your back. So stay in the forward fold, but pull your ribs back, pull your low belly back. Really expand your lower spine. Good. Expand that space across the width of your pelvic bones in the back. Cross your sacrum. Round, round, round. Good. And then stay rounded and start to draw your armpits forward again, softening that space behind your heart. Good. So the shoulders get a little bit more, a little bit wider. Chest gets wider. You're not dropping the low belly. You're not dropping the ribs. Do relax your shoulders. There you go. Good. And then slowly come all the way back up. Nicely done, you guys. Bring that left knee up to face the ceiling, please. Reach your right hand for the baby toe of your left foot. Lift that foot up off the floor and then extend that heel straight forward in line with your hip. So don't let it cross the midline, right? It's going to want to fall inward towards the center of your body. Keep it wide so it's straight in line with that hip. Turn your belly to the left. Good. And then take your left arm back behind you. Yeah, again, if you've got the wall, you're allowed to use it. Just make sure that you're not falling into it. You're using it to push your chest forward so that you keep your shoulders on top of your hips. Good. Kick that heel a little higher, even if it means that you bend the knee, and lift your chest, lift your belly. Good. Nice, Kristen. Nice, Marlene. Good, Lydia. Meredith, I can only see your foot, but it looks great. Good. And then slowly release, bringing that left knee back in towards your chest, squeeze. And then step your left foot over your right thigh. Take the right arm around the front of your left knee. Left hand comes back behind you, spinal twist. Again, lifting the chest, lifting the belly. Get super tall from your tail to your crown. Nice, Lena. Good, Lauren. Nice, Sarah. Good. And then slowly release, coming back to center, please. Beautiful. Bring the knees wide, bottoms of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. Reaching for your ankles. Flex your feet so you're curling the baby toes away from each other or pushing down through the baby toes, curling the toes away. And then as you're holding your ankles, pull up just a little bit so you have this energy of lifting your shins, and then round your back a lot and come into your forward fold with a rounded back. So you can let the elbows or the forearms as they bend drop in front of your shins. That's probably the easiest place for them to go. We sometimes say that you can let the elbows drop into the inner knees and draw the knees wider, but for many of us that doesn't work. You get stuck in your shoulders. So let the forearms go where they need to go, but have that little hugging up of the shins. Even if you're not holding your ankles exactly, do a little squeezing up of your shins and round your back. Yeah. And then relax your shoulders in that rounded back. Good. And then let yourself drop a little deeper because you're letting your back round. And then when you've gone as deep as you think you're going to go, then stop actively trying to round your back and let your chest get wider. Let your armpits reach for the floor. Let your head reach for the floor. Good. I am you and you are me. That's one of the other mantras that comes from yoga. Kundalini yoga specifically uses it a lot. And so when I connect to my own suffering or my own challenges, It's not excluding you. And if I'm connecting to what you're going through, it's not excluding me. So no one's ever excluded. Still care about that spider in the bathtub. Care about what's happening far away from what I can see. And even if there's nothing I can do, my hands can't reach those people, my mind can, my heart can. Because you are me and I am you. So don't take a day off. Good. Walk yourself all the way back up, please. Nice. So an opportunity to go upside down. So if you still have a little energy that needs to be worked out, upside down, we'll fix it. So any inversion that you choose, if you have a wall and you want to do some handstand or headstand, totally up for that. Shoulder stand, if you do not have a wall. If your inversion today is just legs up the wall, perfect. If you have a block that you want to place underneath your seat, either in a supported shoulder stand or bridge, you're also welcome to do that. And lay on your back with your legs just straight up to the sky if that's what works today. But find some variation of upside down. Good. See, of course, in the studio, I used to joke that if you couldn't choose, I would choose for you. Even before I was a mom, I was so ready to make decisions for you. Now I have learned that when I try to make decisions for my daughters, they're going to get an automatic no, so I don't bother. Let her decide. But what a great lesson, right? To let people be people. And to let them learn in the way that they need to learn and guide as best I can, but to let go when it doesn't happen the way that I hope that it will or that I want it to. And to love them anyway, even when they're doing things that make me crazy. The wider we go, the bigger we go into that space of the heart. The more you learn to love in that selfless way, you can't undo it. You can pretend that you didn't see it or that you didn't feel it. Of course you can. You can actively try to ignore it. But you can't unexperience connection. So in any way, the place in the world that brings you to that edge of tears, stay with it. And maybe there's a thought in the back of your mind that whatever strength you cultivate, whatever compassion you cultivate, is that it's not for you, not just for you. You're always included. It's for all those beings that bring you to the edge of tears. That may they find their way. Just one or two more breaths in your inversion. Really nice, Sarah. Good, Lauren. And then as you are ready, slowly bring yourself down. If you have been in handstand or headstand, give yourself a moment in child's pose or just sitting in Virasana. Letting yourself settle. If you've been in shoulder stand, bringing the feet down to the floor, hips down to the floor, pause and rest. If you've been in legs up the wall, stay in legs up the wall. Just kidding. Start to move yourself away from the wall if you're in legs up the wall. They believe it or not, even legs up the wall can become too much after some amount of time. So find your way as gracefully as you can onto your backs. If you are not already there. And then drawing the knees in towards your chest, please. Give them a hug. Cross the right thigh on top of your left. Good. Squeezing the shins together like you're doing eagle pose. And then left arm crosses over top of right in front of your chest, wrapping the forearm. So you're doing eagle pose on your back, arms and legs. Try and keep your shins parallel to the floor so you're not dropping your feet to the floor. You're not dropping your arms or your hands onto your face. So you're staying wide through the backs of your shoulders. You're staying wide through your lower spine. You're hugging your knees in, drawing those elbows slightly down, hollowing the front of the body to the back of the body, relaxing your jaw. Good. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your elbows and knees together to touch. So lift your shoulders up off the floor, curl into your spine. Good. And then release the shoulders back to the floor, unwind your arms, keep your legs crossed, just separate your feet, reach for your ankles or your shins. I know I tricked you. You thought we were just coming out of the whole pose. My job is to trick you into doing what you think you don't want to do, to what you think you can't do. Not just physically, but emotionally as well, that you can go to those deep places of your heart. I know you can. Good. Unwind the legs, please. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Beautiful. Take the left thigh over top of the right. So setting up for that eagle pose on your back on the other side. So the left thigh crosses over top of the right. Good. Shins pressed together. And then right arm comes over top of the left in front of your chest, wrapping the forearms. And again, try to keep your shins parallel to the floor. Good. Don't let the hands fall onto your face. So you have this widening through the back of the shoulders. Your knees are hugging slightly in. Your elbows are dropping slightly in. So maybe some of you remember my daughter was obsessed with the little short about the volcanoes. I was singing to you about the volcanoes. She has graduated to being obsessed about the movie Moana. Also about volcanoes, about Hawaiian stuff. And so of course I reference everything to that movie in my mind now. And of course there's the big adventure is that Moana has to learn to get beyond the reef around her island. And the first time she attempts it, she fails miserably. And so she says, never again, like I can't go out there. But then she has to, right? Bring your elbows and knees together, squeeze up, round your shoulders. Hug. Good. And then release the shoulders, release the arms, keep the thigh crossed, separate your feet, reach for your ankles or your shins. Relaxing the shoulders, wide through the lower back. So of course she tries again later because she has to, right? Her island is in big trouble and she has to save the people that she loves. So she tries again and makes it across the, the breaker waves, right? The reef. And once she's past that, right, then things are much easier. Not easy. Of course, there wouldn't be much of a movie if it was easy after that. But I think of our experiences in that exact same way, is that we think that everything's going to be so hard because we get to that edge of ourselves and sometimes we fail to feel what we want to feel, or we think we can't handle it. So we give up and say, never again, I won't go there. But if we can just get past that edge once and we realize that there's a whole ocean, right? There's a whole infiniteness beyond that. Is we're never again bound by that reef. We're never again bound by that feeling that I can't go there. Can't undo it. Unwind your legs, squeeze your knees in towards your chest. Good. Happy baby, please draw your knees wide, reach for your ankles or your shins. So if we can just get past the edges of ourselves, the edges of our mind that says, I'm too tired, I don't have enough, I can't be enough. I have to tune out, I have to stop caring. We can get past that edge and we fall into the infinite. And we realize that we've never been alone. We aren't alone. And there is so much more. Maha. And that's the joke, right? As we discover that the Divine Mother has been holding everything the whole time. And we've just been struggling in her arms. Good. Squeeze the knees back in towards your chest, please. Drop your feet to the floor. Taking one bridge pose, setting the arms either bent elbows into robot arms or arms straight. Make sure your feet are separated at hips width. And then as you press into the upper arms, arch the back of the heart, almost like you're coming into fish first. Good. Long throat. And then as you are arching the back of the heart, draw the navel in, lift your hips up to come in line with how big your heart is opening. Good. Hug those inner knees towards each other just a little bit. Nice, Linda. Good, Kristen. Good, Joy. Nice, Debbie. Good, Melody. Good, Diane. Sandy, inner knees just a little more. Hug. There you go. Beautiful. Unwind your spine one vertebra at a time. Let it come down. Good. And then a final spinal twist of your choice. So it can be both knees dropping to the side. It can be one knee crossing over. It can be crossed legs. Spinal twist of your choice. And then coming back to center, making sure you do your twist on the other side. And then come back to center, please. And finding your way into your Shavasana. If you want that final hug and squeeze of the knees, take it. Otherwise, stretching the legs out in front of you, arms alongside you, palms up. And maybe imagine yourself with no head. So that at the top of your neck, there is nothing that is going to impose anything. There's just blue sky, infinite space, infinite love, no conditions. And I'm positive that you have all heard this quote before from Mother Teresa, but think of it again in the context of people, including yourself. That people, me, are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. I'll wait. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest, people may cheat you. Be honest anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give your best anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Take off your head. You can do anything. Very gently bring the awareness back to the breath. Letting the body begin to stretch and move in whatever ways serve it well. And as you're ready, draw your knees in towards your chest. Roll to your right side. And take a moment before you begin to push the floor away. Come back to an upright seated position. And bring your hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. Absolutely today, honor your mothers, the physical ones who have been with you in this lifetime doing the work with you. And if you are a mother, honor yourself, even if no one else is. Do that. But all of us, if we can, as the gift to, the world that we live in, the world that birthed us, every one of us, go to that place in you, find the place in the world that brings you consistently to that edge of tears because you care so much. And promise that you will never stop caring. You will not take a day off. And even if there's nothing that you can physically do in the moment, is you hold that in your heart, you hold it in your mind, you drop the edges of yourself so that the best that can come to those beings comes through you because you invite it, because you care. So if we all do that, we drop into that state of the Divine Mother, and this is what keeps the world going. It's not your frantic activity. It's not you doing the best that you can do. It's you being the best that you can be. And God works through that. Divine works through that. So honor that place in you and honor that place in all of us. And let's break down those walls. Close with the sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Great work today. Happy Mother's Day to all of you who are mothers. Happy Mother's Day to all of you who do the work of mothers, even if you don't have children. Happy Mother's Day to all of your hearts that care so much about the world. I know you do. I will see you guys soon.
Thank you, Veronica.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Veronica. Happy
You're
Mother's
welcome.
Day.
If you're staying for meditation, you can just stay on or come off, come back on. See you soon.
Veronica.
Yeah.
I couldn't check in again. And I think I lost my application. What application am I using? I can't